Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you are listening to this, this material is not supposed to scare you, but paradoxically, it's supposed to scare you. So you're not going to make some mistakes, like me, of course, to spread your personal data all over just because it's convenient. I'm going to warn you about spreading personal data, and you may think that's, yeah, it's an old story, just don't share it. But in these times, it's almost impossible. Everybody's asking for your ID. You cannot basically download some of the application without giving your passport number, without giving your ID. Okay, if you still do that, I think this is something you should hear about. And this material is prepared by someone who doesn't want to come forward. It's already done in the Polish language now, thanks to artificial intelligence. It's translated for you. So those of you who would like to hear it, I will tell you all about it. Those of you who would like to read it, let me know, and I will give you PDF format file somewhere on the social media, depending where you are. I am probably everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you find me. And those of you who are here with me for the first time, I'm Joanna Pilatowicz. Just by Googling my name, you definitely will find me. And now, considering the personal data, who am I? You find that I am an author, abstract art painter, I'm an artist, I'm doing decoding of energy using tarot, family constellation, shamanism, doing lectures, workshops, offering, and quite a bit of traveling to meeting different cultures and seeing how it's working, what best we can do in the different communities. So if you like to write me personally, the best is to do using my email address. It's on my website, joannapilatowicz.com. And now we get to what is it all about. So unsafety of your personal data and scam. This material is already continuity of a lady that was working in personal data and what possibly can happen. She gathered for 2 years documents. And we on the Polish side, we call her Agent Scully. So nobody knows about her, as she doesn't want to come forward with this material or anything like that, just to also keep her personal data unavailable. She's not a public person. So here is going to be exactly as she wrote to me. It's been over 2 years since my last letter. During this time, everything I wrote back then has become obvious. Much has happened, and people are slowly getting used to the fact that personal data protection practically doesn't exist. I say getting used to because I believe that in most cases, this awareness has no real impact on actions to improve data protection. In the meantime, we've seen events like the major data breach from ALAP laboratories and the widely publicized case of popular YouTuber who was impersonated through phone number spoofing, a tactic I described in my previous letter. Someone used his number to call the police, fire brigade, etc. He later released a video about cybersecurity, which helped raise awareness. This man is creating content in a Polish language, so obviously I can give you the link to that video. However, those of you who are not speaking Polish will have to use artificial intelligence for the translate, and of course YouTube allows that, so it's a very important material. You can see how he got messages that his wife is dead, there is a fire, his children are dead, so you know, these kind of things. And then people were calling him pretending they are nice, and when he was saying, okay, I will have to report that phone call to the police, and suddenly they were getting quiet. Sort of, you know, phone calls that you were getting. I was also getting sometimes exactly when I was logging to my bank account, I was getting a spam on my phone. Someone was trying to reach me. This is very dangerous. Never ever So I'm telling you that from my personal experience those past years, if you are logging into your banking, never pick up a phone call currently from someone. Log out first. That's number one. None of the phone calls that are coming from the number you do not know specifically, never ever pick up. People still do that out of the curiosity, but if you won't pick it up, they will stop. It happened to me many times, and I stopped picking them up. They stopped. It's very, very rare someone even has my number. Also, my phone number is not present. I had to, due to the things I'm doing online, I had to also put it away from my website. I will read further. False sense of security. People still gladly give their full personal details when signing up for loyalty cards or shopping at discount stores. Here we go again. So yes, I did that too, and probably please write me who didn't. What could anyone possibly do with just my name, date of birth, and address? They ask. Well, a friend of mine, an almost 80-year-old pensioner, recently received a summons from the prosecutor's office because someone used his identity to sell drugs. Now he must prove he doesn't engage in such activities in his free time. It goes further than that. So also under my name, there was apparently a YouTube channel, and someone was asking me if it's mine. No, I had to say that to the audience. That is not mine. There was also someone who under my name was also trying to sell sort of products, and until I'm saying it publicly that I'm involved or not, or I'm promoting or probably not, then of course I always have to say that. So please do not believe if someone, suddenly your friend, your family member is trying to sell you something, just call him directly. Recently, I will actually mention that I already posted a short video about this incident on Instagram and TikTok. When I went to the nightclub, I had to download the application, and out of the curiosity, I did that. So I had to create my account, and in order to do that, and this is where I stopped, I had to give my ID, my date of birth, my email, of course, which email is a little bit normal because everything is like that. But even there, you're going to get a spam, you can get a virus, and so on. So I asked artificial intelligence about it, and artificial intelligence gave me an idea I didn't think of. Told me directly that I can report, if they want, allow me in. I didn't try, I just left. But if someone will try to force me to download this application or won't allow me in, after showing my ID, without giving your ID to copy, of course, I can report them. And if you're interested in that procedure, also let me know. We will get to that. Now, let's get back to this wonderful material. Giving data away freely, why we must provide our data at government offices or insurance companies, doing so voluntarily in every situation, just because we've been taught we must, is no longer wise. Sure, there are some cases you have to, but not every time. For shipments, we have parcel lockers, so giving a real address is unnecessary. A small typo in a short name might even go unnoticed. Nobody verifies these things, especially not the white-coated professionals at clinics. Looking down, and this is what I'm reading right now, is not even anything scary. We will get to that part very soon, I promise you that. Looking down your peso. Peso is a Polish ID, but any ID, in America you have social security number, in Spain you have NIE, and so on, so on. So it's now possible to restrict your ID number, and highly recommend it. And I highly recommend it. It's one form of protection, but scammers often find workarounds. Camera hacks are now more frequent. Hackers take over webcams. The next one, real-life examples. At a housing association meeting, they were pushing for surveillance cameras from a trusted company, trusted, of course, in a quotation, When I raised the issue of camera hacks, I was told that never happened before. Of course, that is not a argument. That is not something that can convince us anymore. When I asked how they check that, the room fell silent. They don't verify anything. So if you hear this kind of answer, you have no idea. They don't have an idea what is going on. Scam trends, financial. Let us get to that part. And this is still not the most scary part. The relative in need scam has resurfaced now in a digital form. Fraudsters dig through Facebook profiles, learn about someone's family and job, then message relatives pretending the person had a workplace accident and urgently needs money, preferable via Blink. And how many of you have actually hacked Facebook accounts? And Facebook is mostly hacked, not mentioning it's almost impossible. Actually, it is impossible to get in contact, because with anybody who I spoke with and they had their Facebook account hacked, they couldn't get any email. With every other website, you have some sort of help desk support. With Amazon, people are writing you back personally and you have a conversation. With Facebook, nobody ever wrote me back, and so friends of mine that I spoke, and these things happened to them. This is even more convincing if the scammer hacked the victim's account or stole their phone. Emotions override logic, obviously. First thing, if you hear your wife is dead, your partner is in hospital or something, the first emotional reaction is designed to cause you switching off the logic and thinking. And they know that. Even I once almost fell for it when a relative messaged asking for a Blink. Despite all my knowledge, my first instinct was to help. Turns out it was a test. They wanted to see if I'd fall for it after many of their co-workers were scammed this way. Classic scam techniques still work. So how they get you? Examples. Simple examples when you're organizing something online and you hear confirm your account with your credit card. Be careful about that. Invest with us and earn millions. How many advertisements you see on Instagram currently? I saw it many. You cannot just turn them off at sometimes. You've won a prize. Just send us your data. That's a classic one. To receive a job offer, you must pay a fee. Never, ever pay for applying anywhere. Your package was misdelivered, often right after you've sent one. This actually also is a tricky one, because they're tracing you. If they have your data, if they're tracing you, they are viewing you somehow, then they know that you are actually expecting a parcel. And this is the time you can fall for that. Send your card info to sell on OLX or Vinted. They all come wrapped in beautifully worded messages with one goal. We need your data. Always stop and think. Anytime someone asks you for your data, weigh the risks and rewards. Don't decide in the heat of the moment. If they become pushy or upset when you hesitate, it says a lot about their intentions. And this is something, if you meet people that are investing and they are real investors, because that actually happened to me pretty recently. And some of these people, if I say, well, I'm not ready to invest at this moment, they continue the conversation, we still talk, we become friends. However, one person was just a scammer, not sincere person. And the moment he was trying to push me into investing, download the application, of course, and I refused. He just deleted my number or just stopped talking. But of course, the intentions were even like the most friendly type of a person. And also, if someone is overly friendly, that's another sign. Why would you be overly friendly to someone you don't know, right? always stop and think. A friend in finance told me clients still get scammed after asking fraudsters, "Are you a scam?" And hearing, "No, of course not. We just want to help." That's a typical one. So don't ask if they are scammers because they will tell you they are not. Unless it's artificial intelligence, maybe they cannot lie yet, but we already heard that they do lie. For your own good, red flags. If you hear "for your own good," we already know doesn't mean. We had an intelligence test past years, a lot of tests for intelligence, so that's another one. Watch out for these manipulations. Everyone does it. That's actually a manipulation tactics that I was taught in marketing in the university, and this one is very old one. Just sign. The fine print is nothing. Just sign. Nothing's gonna happen. Everybody do that, right? This is mandatory. Don't question it. So if you hear that, these are all common toxic. Definitely question. Basically, in this world, you gotta question everything. Legislative ping pong. I contacted the Polish Ministry of Health, and now we are getting to really scary thing. Polish Ministry of Health about personal data requirements at private medical visits. I argued that asking for ID is reckless given the current cybercrime level. The ministry responded with a vague legal jargon, insisting they care about data safety and are protected by the law. As if hackers would stop at a reminder of regulations, right? Because we have a law. I requested alternatives for private patients who want services without giving sensitive data. The response? It's all fine. The Data Protection Office is responsible. That office tells you to contact the ministry. The patient ombudsman said, "Only you complain, so it's not an issue yet." Because you're just the only one. So if you're the only one and other people don't complain, you're the only one. So the problem doesn't exist. So please, go ahead. Do not agree and complain. So if this is a common issue and people don't fall for that, they will stop doing that. That's actually the most important thing so far in order to stop that. But we will be talking about it in probably other videos if you are interested, and if you want me to create a material how to not do it, how to not give your personal data, what are the options, how to get in without doing it. Yeah, Alab breach, I was right. Alab breach. Alab is a laboratory in Poland, the biggest patient data breach to date. So the ministry replied, "Well, you soon be able to restrict your ID, completely disregarding the fact that DNA addresses and medical test results were not now in the darknet." You know what is a darknet. Sometimes it's very important to make sure that you don't go to darknet, because the things you may see, you won't be able to unsee it. I didn't go yet to darknet. I was curious. I was thinking about it to gather some information, but I prefer either go and bring this information so I can peacefully and comfortable just listen about it. If it's something very important, I should be paying attention to. So yes, our data are sold. Now, if you're adding to that your DNA, your material, test blood, your not test blood, but your type of blood, we get into this point about the children. So especially if you do have children, listen, that's for you. Newborn's blood is taken to check for diseases, which sounds fine until you read the leaflet. Parents unknowingly agree to send their child's DNA to a hospital and must immediately bring them in for treatment if anything suspicious is found. Otherwise, coercive measures may follow. There's no clear information on who handles the data, how long it's stored, who else can access to it. And if you refuse, it's mandatory. and even maybe shared internationally. Now you have also an article about genetic testing and privacy in Poland. Medical consent is often missing. Nobody's going to ask you about it. They just want you to consent without letting you know to what actually you are agreeing to. Even in holistic clinics, I once asked for fluoride-free fillings and was promised cement-based ones. The dentist got angry when I asked for an ingredients leaflet, said she had none and threw the package at me. Turns out the fillings did contain fluoride and metacrynolate called MMA, a component used in exterior paint, shock-resistant plastic, adhesives. Would you knowingly have a ceramic glue in your teeth? So that's another article the lady is presenting us, of course, in Polish, but if you're really interested in deepening this material, you just get the most important facts really gathered by her for around 2 years. Okay, patient rights. I recommend reading the Patient Rights Charter. Do it in your own country, wherever you are, which gives you the right to be informed of risks. Just my question, were any one of you informed about risk of vaccinations? We can actually talk about it since all this story happened. Refuse or consent to the treatment. Ask for alternatives. If you say no, you have the right to be informed, consent, especially when it comes to materials, risks, and procedures. Final thought about that part. We are not 100% immune to scams. Learning to understand our emotions is key. Your intuition can protect you if you listen. I actually didn't comment, so let me comment on the medical one, that is the most important one, as I promised you that. So here was a genetic testing in Poland. Where did it lead to? And some data got out of the laboratory. There was another article in Poland, and this is happening all over the world too. Not mentioning, some years ago, someone who contacted me for the tarot reading, she couldn't get a job because her private information about suffering, being diagnosed from depression, got out. Somehow, although this is sensitive information and no boss supposed to know about it, no employer, this slipped and she couldn't get a job. Somehow it was like an obvious thing, and although it was supposed to be protected by that great health system. And this is not the scariest one. So there was a girl in another article in the Polish city, and she was in a primary school, and somehow her data were found on the black market. Someone needed organs, so she was kidnapped. And she was kidnapped, and the girl survived to tell her story, which is really, really drastic because she lost her kidney, but she survived at least. There also is an article in another email from that lady that there are famous people. There are people that you should check if they had too many transplants. They were lucky to have it, let's say, 7 times in a row. When some of the transplants for the heart, for example, people are lucky if they get it in a one time in their life. They're waiting a long time for that. So these things are coming from the black market. Black market is actually done by stealing, by some cybercrime and stealing. So this is the most important information. And someone told me, Joanna, don't scare us. Yes, we should be scared. We should be scared in order to use the fear, not to stay scared, but to consciously decide where is it necessary to give your data and where is not. You know, this spreading of convenience, that you go to the restaurant, you have an app, you have a table, everything is prepared for you, this comfort. creates an idea of safety, of course, and just a comfort. And yeah, and you just give it too much of your personal things. Even in spiritual or high vibration communities, scams thrive. How I have high vibration, nothing bad can happen to me. Oh, yes, I heard about that one. Because of the nature of the videos we do, we have psychological videos on my YouTube. We have more paranormal, about dreaming, about raising vibrations, about tarot, about Vikings, about runes, about those paintings I have behind me. That I do paint for feng shui, for color therapy. So we have a quite, like esoteric people who are growing spiritually, but we have to be also careful to don't lose a touch with earth and be grounded. So unless you are really a Buddha that you don't need to breathe, not mentioning, as long as you need food, water, breath, no, you are not in a high state of vibrations that nothing can happen to you. I'm sorry to say, for all those spiritual people, that it may not happen. But the real spiritual development includes humility, discernment, and learning from mistakes. So I think it's time for us to learn from this. Always question, always research, never act out of fear or pressure. And never trust a message that only shows one side of a story. What does that mean to never act from fear or pressure? So the moment someone is getting angry at you, that's a very important indicator. The moment someone is keep on convincing you to do something, even though you refused more than 2 times, that's a sign. That's a strong sign. Another one is when you are making decision and you feel discomfort, that you are scared. If you're not going to do this, certain consequences will happen to you. So you are definitely making decision out of fear. It's never a good decision, and you most likely will regret that one. So, saying all this, be cautious, be safe, warn others, please spread that message to your friends, to anyone. And what can you do? So, now we come into the part. What can you do? If you have millions of people, thousands of people who are complying, going to the certain restaurant, downloading the application, they are gathering data, and there is nothing you can do. So all these people have to decline, sorry, not decline in English, they have to refuse to give personal data. The same thing is happening in hotels. So what you can do, you can show your ID, but do not give your ID to copy. And I already was forced like that when I was buying a ticket in Barcelona a few months before. I had to, by manually buying, not in the machine, I had to show my ID. I'm not sure if the lady copied that, but that was ridiculous. Why would you need my ID if I just want to get a ticket to go to another city, right? So yeah, this kind of boxing, when you are in the hurry, when you are making this kind of decisions. So I did make that mistake. Make sure that it's not going to happen to you again. So if these things happened already, make sure it is not that necessary. So I didn't have to really enter that nightclub. It wasn't that necessary for me. Sure, I was angry. I was definitely angry. And it's good I was angry, because I could use that anger to create the video. This video is supposed to happen only in Polish language, but now seeing the problem is really, really wild. And as far as American people are paying attention to that, Polish too, I don't see much awareness in Spain. And those of you who are going to protest, to my words now, please do. I really hope that there are a lot of people in Spain that are absolutely conscious. Please tell me that I'm wrong. I wish I can be wrong here. Please tell me, write me a comment, share your experience. If you have any ideas how to get out of this situation, how to make sure that you get certain service, especially in the health system, because this is understandable. As far as going to the restaurant, it's your own comfort. So pick another restaurant. There are many. They have to compete one with another. So I think this should be easier. Maybe this is your favorite dance school. I don't know. But if you go in for the first time and you already did that mistake, I just want to tell you this. If you already gave your personal data to any companies unnecessarily, it's very, very likely they already selling your data on the black market. So just think about it. What is the intention? I already asked the lady who prepared that article for us to give me a little bit more information because obviously we're lacking in imagination here. So what really can happen with that, data? The most crucial and the most important thing is about health system. Whatever you are registered, in what country, they have your blood type, they have your tests, results, what kind of sicknesses you're suffering from. And also, that is serving a simple thing to make you buy more drugs without healing your chronic disease sometimes, because in that form, we were already warned, especially this American society is pretty conscious and polished. I don't know about other, but I think a lot of countries are awakening, especially after tests for intelligence in 2020. More people paying attention to a lot more, and I'm glad about that. So pay attention. Where do you give your data? That's my final word. Sometimes, of course, I am talking too much because obviously that's my job. That's my job to educate us all, to remind us all what's important, and to make sure that we are going in the right direction. And all the words I'm telling you, I am also telling myself to be a little bit more cautious because I did some of the mistakes as well. And it can be much harder to withdraw the data later on once you give it, once you set that account. It's not a matter of just deleting the application or uninstall it. Once your data are out there, you are traceable. And if this is just the government, that's okay. But the government can be also cyber attacked, and we already know that. We already had it. We already witnessed that in the past. Okay, so you find me on the website joannapilatowicz.com. If you like a session that I'm offering, tarot, decoding energy, if you find you have a personal pattern that is repeating, you don't like it, we do decoding. We're using family constellation, we're using shamanism, process-oriented psychology. And I use tarot because whatever you are telling me, I need to check it energetically, because we always have the story and then there is a further deeper part. And of course, just like with everything else, there are a number of videos on my YouTube how to check any specialist. And please be cautious about that one. If you pick someone like a tarot readers, I know tarot doesn't have a good connotation. And I always say, don't tell me much. Please test me. You don't have to agree with me. And do not tell me all the stories, because this is what I'm warning people. I don't need to know. I need that tarot to make sure that what I'm telling you is what you think, what you are, what's your intention is to work about. And you are the one testing it, not me. So that's a very, very important one. Question everything. Remember who you are. Collect all the parts of your soul so you know who you are, so nobody can manipulate you and trick you. Stay safe, healthy. And till the next time, and I'm looking forward to reading from you. And please pass this content, this material to anyone that can benefit from it. Have a great one.